I'm going to call to order the August 8th study session. Madam Clerk, if you'll do the roll call, please.
Director Arthur Perry.
Here.
Assistant Secretary Robert Luque is absent today and excused. Secretary Arlene Schaefer. Present. Vice President James Fairman.
Present.
And President Michael Schaefer.
Here.
Thank you.
Public comments? Not really seeing anyone from the public. We'll close the public comment section of the meeting and go to item of study number 1. Scott?
Thank you, Mr. President. This is just your monthly report on our organics tonnage, and as you will see, last month of July surpassed July of last year. So again, it's trends looking very good. The numbers are consistently high, so we hope the trend continues.
Is this the same report we saw at the board meeting, or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, again, I think it's indicative that the drought is pretty much over and people are able to water their lawns and do the things they need to do. Any questions for staff?
No, it's good.
Yeah, it really is a good trend.
Yes.
That we brought it. All right, item 2.
Thank you, Mr. President. This will give the report to Ed Roberts, who will give his code enforcement report.
Mr. Roberts.
Good morning, President Schaefer and members of the board. Ed Roberts, your Code Enforcement Officer, will be presenting the Code Enforcement Officer Report, July 2017. To report to the board, for the month of July 2017, we had 5 scavenger investigations. I've been receiving a series of complaints through regular contacts that I have out in the community, folks that just have my cell phone number call me up regarding scavengers. You'll notice there's a concentration this time on the east side, and I've been working the east side a little bit more extensively in this month as a focus, just because it seems the neighborhood, with closing the neighborhood community center, folks are more concentrated on the south end of town, and I think we'll see a proliferation of scavenging incidents on the south end of the west side and primarily on the east side. So I'll be watching that a little bit more carefully. For the month, I had 96 first warnings issued, and those are also secondary warnings because I do a follow-up inspection to ensure compliance. Nothing out of the ordinary to report. And one thing I wanted to mention to the board, the general manager, Scott, had a meeting with staff from City of Costa Mesa and the homeless outreach that they've been taking place. And Scott reached out to me, thought it'd be a good idea for me to touch base with those folks and maybe align our forces. And after the report, I actually took, we have 2 outreach workers that focus on the homeless population in Costa Mesa. I had Lorena on the ride along with me today, and it was a really productive meeting. We got along well. I think the whole logic that I'd like to present to the board is we have a revolving population of indigent transit folks that come into our town, and I rarely see secondary or tertiary offenders. I'm always seeing new folks coming in and out of the town that have contacted people scavenging, and we are a solutions-based organization, so we're looking to maybe partner up a little bit more extensively with them and find a solution for these folks if we can get them some help, maybe take them out of that situation they're in, may work to alleviate our scavenging issues that we have in the county. Other than that, I really don't have anything further to report. Are there any questions from the board?
That's a question. I drove by Lions Park last night, and they have just one part of it fenced off.
Yes, sir.
Before, they had a lot of it fenced off. Why do you think they just have that one part fenced off on the main?
You know what? I don't know, sir. I did see that the jet and the play equipment have been cordoned off, and it seems that, like as of this morning, there are additional fencing crews out there now. So they may have rethought what area they're going to cordon off. But if you like, I can reach out to my counterparts at City Hall.
I just had one of the
A lot of it
residents.
is because they're getting ready to start construction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
was going to say, I know the president and I went to the groundbreaking, and a lot of that's fenced off, period. So.
Yeah. But I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Well, my intention is to continue working with the staff as cooperatively as we can. They have my phone number. I have their phone number. Anything, they understand that my duties are very specific, and it has to be germane to sanitation district issues. But enough interaction with the folks that I think would be a good opportunity for me to start, bringing additional resources to them.
I have two questions for you, or
Yes, sir.
question or comment. The gentleman in Scott, this is the guy on 19th Street that kept contacting the mayor, said his organics card hadn't been picked up for, Nabila, I think you were involved in that too. He said it hadn't been picked up for like 6 weeks or something like. Did we figure out why his card didn't get picked up, or was it just? And I mean, you guys probably know too, so.
Sir, I actually made contact with the resident complainant. As soon as sanitation district staff became aware of the issue, I had no idea of what was transpiring.
That's what I thought.
We stress a same-day response. So I was out there the next morning at about 07:30, just quality checking the entire situation. I photographed the status of the carts at the time. I pretty much sat on the street, reached out to the CR&R folks. They were very responsive. They sent their supervisor out. And my understanding from the field supervisor was that the regular route driver was not, was on vacation or was working that route for whatever reason. They had a substitute driver, and it may have been an error. 6 weeks.
Yeah, I would say a guy being on vacation or somebody missing. To be honest with you, our response has always been terrific. CR&R's response has always been terrific in terms of these folks who get missed. This guy seemed to be, based on his emails between us and the mayor, it's almost like he was looking for a job. I mean, Mila, did you see that one email? I don't know if you got that email where he proposed, he sent a resume to the mayor saying, maybe I can help solve these problems. So the thing with the driver on vacation, that's a one-time thing. But unless you guys give your driver 6 weeks vacation, because I'd like to sign up for that job too. Yeah. So I just thank you for the effort, all of you, for doing it. Obviously, when the mayor gets involved or the city council gets involved, it gets a little more widespread. So
I agree, sir. From the staff perspective, we have to handle it in an unbiased manner. We have a complaint that was brought to our attention, and we have to respond. I investigated as thoroughly as I could. I reported my findings to both Scott and the CR&R. It is what it is, and I hate to use that cliche, but I found carts that were potentially, the resident had placed the carts where they needed to be. They were full. Based on my investigation, it appeared that the carts had offage in them. That was about a week old. I wouldn't speculate 6 weeks, but it looked like it was there. So I did my best to allay the residents' concerns. They said, we're very responsive. You need to bring it to our attention directly. So we're aware of it.
his last email to the mayor was very complimentary of all of our service. So it just seems kind of ironic that we always miss the people who complain a lot. I mean, it's kind of a phenomenon. The other comment I had, the homeless encampments that are along the Santa Ana riverbed seem to be moving. City of Anaheim's taking kind of a hardline approach, except near Angel Stadium, and a lot of these folks are starting to move south along the riverbed. I noticed that yesterday. I expect if they move further past MacArthur, past Costco, where they are now, a lot of them, we're going to start seeing some of those people in the northern part of Costa Mesa. So if you can keep an eye on that, that would be appreciated. Because I really think it's going to be, Fountain Valley doesn't really seem to do much about it, except way south as you get closer to the Sand District plant. But just if we can keep an eye on it.
Not at all. I'm aware of the situation, and I know potentially there's it could happen. And for whatever reason, it does seem that the river seems to be like a pedestrian trail up and down. So that's all I can do. I'll monitor the move more and some of the points of access into the city. And we'll go from there.
That sounds good.
All right.
Thank you for the report.
One other comment. I had a call from, you guys know Chris Cox?
Yeah.
He lives over by Kelly Brook, Hillcrest area. He texted me. I called Scott because they hadn't picked up the trash in the street. Within like an hour, CNR was out there taking care of it. It was really great. He really complimented us. So thanks, Scott.
Funny story. My sister lives in Rancho Bernardo, and she's she's a lunch lady at the middle school there, so she's got the summer off. She was telling me, she says, I hope your trash guys aren't like ours, because she watched their trash guy dump, and some stuff fell out, like a couple of bottles and stuff, fell out and broke in the sidewalk and up into her driveway. And she said the driver got out of the truck, looked at it, got back in the truck and drove away.
Oh, gee.
And I think, she's part of the city of San Diego, so I think they, whoever they have, but,
It's a city, it's city operations.
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, anything else? All right, let's go to item 3 then, Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Actually, the next 4 items will be presented by Nabila Guzman, so I'm calling it the Nabila Guzman Show. So
Call her what?
it's the Nabila Guzman Show, so because the next 4
Come on,
items
kid,
are...
go ahead.
Hi, good morning, President Schaefer, members of the board. Our first item is regarding the district, our free program, the Door-to-Door Household Hazardous Waste Collection Program. This program serves residents who may not otherwise have the ability to recycle or get rid of their household hazardous material at permanent HHW facilities. The program allows senior citizens 62 years of age or older, immobile or disabled individuals to dispose of their materials without leaving their home. In fiscal year 16-17, there were 64 pickups, a 23% increase from previous fiscal year where only 52 pickups were fulfilled. Staff is proposing a goal to increase the program by 15% for this current fiscal year, utilizing the same outreach tools as well as implementing oral presentations at the Costa Mesa Senior Center to further promote the program. Do you guys have any questions?
I have a thought.
Yes.
Of those 64 pickups, do we get credit for that as recycling or disposal?
It goes part of that. We send this information to the city, and it goes as part of the diversion account.
I mean, does that go to our account?
Yeah, yes. I mean, as far as, part of our 60% diversion?
Yeah.
I did not include HHW. We only included trees and large item pickups.
It won't make a big difference, but we can include it, sure.
I was just thinking that if we increase the program, it would get our numbers closer. But is that minimal?
It's going to be, it's very expensive, and to get that moving up a 0.5%, 1%, I don't think it's going to be very effective. I think
If we, at the end, if we need to get that 1 or 2%, maybe we could consider.
okay.
Just a thought.
Okay, fair enough.
Do we have any idea what kind of stuff is being picked up, I mean, from a percentage?
Not percentage-wise, but it is mostly paint and batteries.
Paints would be my first thought. And-
Gallon and spray cans, those are very common, as well as bags of batteries.
I appreciate the fact that you guys call seniors 62. Having passed that age a couple of years ago, I'm going to start leaving with it.
I got one other question. The large item pickups, do we count that as part of our percentage?
The white goods, we do, yes.
Okay, just white goods.
And if there's any, I think if there's any clean lumber, anything that's clean, like recycle, we'll count it, but mostly it's the white goods. So like if it's a couch, we can't do that. But if it's just like plywood, yeah, we can count that as diversion.
Just trying to get our numbers up.
You're always working on it, buddy.
I have a question. Are we involved with the Orange County Fair on the trash cans and recycling?
No, we're not.
No? God, it's too bad.
That would take our percentage up.
You
Yeah.
can't believe that.
Is that the city of Costa Mesa, or is that?
No, that's
No.
state. That's
State?
It's a
Oh, okay.
state.
And I-
But still, I'm sure they go out to bid.
Yeah, but you guys, you're not the hauler for the fair, are you? That's what I thought.
Yeah, I know you have. That's why I was curious.
If you were, could we count those totals?
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
state
Okay,
property.
just curious.
No, it's too bad. I was thinking of that.
Good to take that.
Could you
God, what a
imagine-
waste.
Could you imagine the organics that are picked up at the
I
fair?
know, I know.
Because you take one bite of that stuff and you throw
Yeah.
it away, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay. Item 4, Nadine?
Yes, there is currently very little bilingual material out there. Available to the public regarding our programs and services. In an effort to increase our diversion rate and reach all members of the public, staff proposes to make the quarterly newsletter bilingual. Over 1/3, or 34% of Costa Mesa's population identifies as Hispanic. CMSD seeks to provide Spanish-speaking residents with information about which material should be placed in the curbside mixed waste carts and which material should be placed in the organics recycling carts, as well as information about solid waste programs and services. We have researched a few options to achieve increased bilingual outreach and their related costs. They were laid out towards the bottom. So our options would be providing a quarterly newsletter in a bilingual format. That can go citywide, or we can focus it in certain neighborhoods. I recently had a meeting with EEC to update our maps, our district maps with current addresses, parcels that have been divided or added. As well, I've also reached out to the city of Costa Mesa to get neighborhood boundaries, so we have a better idea and we reach all the members in certain neighborhoods. This would be an extra cost of $220 per quarter to make it bilingual, and I have attached an example from the city of Santa Ana. It looks exactly the same as the current newsletter. It just has a smaller article translated in Spanish. Our second option would be to create a separate Spanish e-version that would be uploaded to our website, and residents could then visit our website and access the newsletter completely in Spanish. But this would also require additional promotion, and we would need to send some kind of postcard or advertisement to let them know that there's a Spanish e-version. The third option is provide a bilingual Living Green classroom guide. This is provided to us for free from the vendor, but it would cost $250 per quarter to make it bilingual. It is designed with 7th through 12th grade students and teachers in mind. So the articles are a little different. It's just, most of the articles are about overall recycling, nothing super specific to the district. So we could, staff could go to Eco Challenge or Project Zero Waste Assemblies and issue these out, but we will be assuming that the kids will take them home and share with their parents. And the last option is to send postcards to targeted areas like we did with the lockable postcards. That turned out to, we received a very good response, but it is also expensive. It was $1,924 for 4,353 homes. And below are the options. I don't know if you guys have questions.
So if we took our current newsletter, and I like the way Santa Ana did it. I thought it was easy to follow and it, wasn't disruptive is the right word, but I like the way they did theirs. If we took our newsletter, did the same thing, would cost an additional $220 per quarter.
Yes.
Okay. Personally, on the targeted areas, I think that's inherently a problem, because we may think an area needs to be targeted when bilingual folks in another area are saying, "Hey, what about us?" So I think that opens a can of worms as far as
we could open up a sign up. We could do promotional on the newsletter itself to say the newsletter is available in English and Spanish. If you want to receive it, please give us a call.
Yeah, I just think this is the easiest way to go, personally. The other thing about the website, I know my company's website, if you're looking at it, there's a link up in the top that says, if you speak a different language, click on these options, and the whole website flips over to a different
We have
language.
that too.
Do we have that on
Yes.
ours? Okay, I think that's a great idea. But I don't, personally, I think this is the best option.
Yeah, I agree. Excuse me, with the population in Costa Mesa now, it's roughly almost 40% of it Hispanic. And so we think it's imperative now to go bilingual based on the results we did just recently on the lockable trash cards when we did bilingual note cards. We got a pretty good response. So we know that was successful. And I believe, and Nabila and I believe that if we go bilingual, we have a good chance of increasing our diversion because now people understand. They're reading it and they understand the importance of recycling. I think it's another good opportunity to increase our diversion. And as Nabila told, for $220, I was thinking mostly, we know most of the Hispanic populations in the west side, and maybe we could focus on the west side, but if you think that's going to create some issues in the other parts of the community, and for $220, it's still very effective to reach out to the community, the entire community.
And I realizing too that when and if we do this, if we go to a bilingual style like this, there's a certain element in town that's going to go, why the hell are you doing that? Why should this should always, we speak English here. Well, the reality of the world is.
Yeah, and that was my concern too. We're going to get some of those people probably think like that as well. That's why I was thinking maybe we just focus on the west side. But Prince, you make your point. There might be people on the east side that bilingual speaking and can benefit from this as well.
Can you that $220 per quarter, is that sending the one newsletter out in English and Spanish?
Yeah, that is the total cost to translate it. It doesn't matter how many people you send it to.
I mean, would it be going out to both English-speaking people and Spanish-speaking peoples at one time?
It'd be just like the one that they showed this.
I think that's pretty good cost.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
We were under budget. According to this, we were under budget anyway.
Yes, last year I believe we spent $38,000.
It's like 38,000.
Yeah, so it wouldn't affect our budget.
That's good.
Good, Ron.
I just have a question. Are these done by an automatic program, or are they actually written by someone when you go from one language to another?
They are translated by somebody else because I've read through it and they do not use Google Translate. It actually makes sense and they use the right format and it's written correctly. So somebody is reading through them in Spanish and making sure it makes sense and it's not flipped.
What's the next highest ethnic population after
Asian at 8%.
And I would say Southeast Asian in particular. Yeah, I mean, you would know that from school probably.
Yeah. Not so much of the Estancia, but the Costa Mesa High has a lot bigger
Yes.
population.
Yeah.
Costa Mesa High demographics almost mirrors the state as far as breakdown goes.
But I think it's a good plan, and then part of the newsletter could have everything about the website, included in that, if they want to contact us. I think it's a valuable tool for a little bit of money.
Yeah, I think Scott makes a good point in terms of the diversion rate. Hispanic-speaking people may not realize what they can put in that organics cart, for example.
I think truthfully, we should just put this on our agenda for the next meeting. So we could,
I really don't need.
You don't need that?
I think we can just
Or
do
do
it.
we just do it?
As
Oh,
long as I'm
okay.
here, there's no objection.
Okay,
It wouldn't be in the
forget it.
next newsletter, right? It'd be the fall, because this one's already done.
Yeah, so
Could
it'd
be-
be the winter
Which,
newsletter.
as we get with Christmas tree recycling and fats, oils, and grease, that's probably as good a one as
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
any to get
good
in.
jackass, good point.
Yeah, not only that, but we all agree on it, so there's no problem.
I'm sure Bob will be. Okay. Good job. All right, item 5.
The large item collection program. The district offers residents a convenient curbside collection of larger bulky items at their home, pickups at their home. CMSD is eligible for 3 complimentary pickups per year. There is a limit of 10 items per pickup, or you can combine them all for a total of 30 items per calendar year. There were a total of 5,079 large item pickups requests for fiscal year 16-17, an 18% increase from last fiscal year, where only 4,039 requests were made. Staff considers the program successful, and we hope to see another increase in pickups this fiscal year. There was also an increase in white goods collected. It more than doubled from last year to this year. Last year we collected 8.3 tons, and this last fiscal year was 18.17 tons.
Pretty good.
You know, just my guess as to why the tonnage has increased is when we had the schedule hiccup when we
Yeah.
said, your neighborhood's gonna get it this week. All of the people in Orange County that knew we had that block, I mean,
You're right.
they swoop through the neighborhoods now because they don't know when it is regular. It's gotta be, have an effect, right?
This is a great program, probably one of the best we have.
I agree with that. Yeah. Good trend. Okay. Item 6?
Lastly, the sharps and pharmaceutical waste collection. This program collects used sharps and pharmaceuticals and properly disposes of them to residents free of charge. The program ensures proper disposal of discarded needles and other sharps to prevent health risks to the public as well as wastewater and solid waste workers. The program also prevents further contamination of pharmaceuticals in the water stream. The collection of sharps includes syringes and pen needles, while the collection of pharmaceutical includes unneeded, non-controlled prescription and over-the-counter medications. Also, the district recently contracted with Harbor Compounding Pharmacy to allow residents to dispose of their unneeded pharmaceuticals. This drop box was installed last Thursday, so they are brand new. In fiscal year 16-17, the program collected a total of 1,852.6 pounds of pharmaceutical waste and a total of 1,970.2 pounds in sharps. So we are seeing a bit of a decline in sharps, but the pharmaceutical collection keeps on rising. Do you have any questions?
And what are we gonna do about Stevens Pharmacy being closed?
Are they closed?
They're closed.
Well,
Stevens Pharmacy.
yeah, to respond, I'd like to commend Nabila for finding another pharmacist. It was Harbor. Was it Harbor and?
It is between Bay and Fort.
Yeah, so she went out, we knew once when the scandal hit, we said, okay, we're going to terminate our contract with them, and then, but we wanted to find another pharmaceutical business, and Nabila went out and approached all the pharmacies here in Costa Mesa, and one of them responded back to us, which is Harbor, which is great, and we entered agreement with them, and now they're collecting pharmaceuticals for us, so we were able to replace Stevens with another one.
Have you checked on Walgreens?
Yes, it was very hard. Walgreens and Rite Aid. The people working there were very excited and thought it was a great program, but they had to go through
They're
chain of
corporate.
command,
They're corporate.
corporate. They wouldn't get the okay to.
Also, one other comment, what about Whitefront? It's down here, but at the same time, did you know they're moving?
Yes, I did
Okay.
speak to them, and they said they were still looking at their location. They didn't know
Yeah.
how they were going to set up,
Yeah,
but I was going to contact them in a few months to see, once
Right.
they were settled in, to see if they would take another box.
yeah, that's where Round Table was, and by Stater Brothers. That's where
Is
they're
that where
moving.
Whitefield's
The
going?
round table's not going anywhere, are they?
That's what I heard.
Oh, really? I mean, I knew Whitefront was going in, but I didn't
Yeah.
think it was there.
Oh, on, at Stater Brothers?
Yes,
Oh, I didn't
yes.
know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, for sure they're going in, but I didn't, round table, I'm surprised to go out.
They seem to do pretty well.
Yeah, they seem to be, I don't
I
know.
think they're staying, they just next door that.
Oh, they're gonna have a
It's for that
smaller place?
martial art, there was a martial arts
Yeah.
place there or something.
Yeah. Maybe that didn't make,
Okay. You know, all of the Stevens Pharmacy people that went there all got shifted to CVS over in the harbor, by Lawn Shopping Center. Have you contacted them at all?
oh, that's
CVS Caremark. or whatever.
Yes, but it was the same thing.
Same
Chain of
thing,
command,
corporate.
corporate, they wouldn't allow it.
You know, they automatically shifted all of their members to CVS.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's when I walked into Stevens and the marshal was there, said, hey, all of the things are at CVS right across the street.
I'll be done.
Yes.
In terms of, one other thing about, we don't advertise, or we do at the senior center?
We don't advertise the senior center in our newsletter or in our website. That is
Okay.
just for senior citizens that use
Okay.
the center.
Have we contacted the Azalon apartment complex?
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, there's that complex, it's on Mesa Verde Drive, right across from Stevens, actually,
Yeah.
called Azulon, Azulon, and it's a huge apartment complex for seniors.
It fronts
Yeah,
on
it comes
Harbor.
around on Harbor,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Rob. I think if we could contact their management and say, hey, can we let your folks know that we've got this program? HHW and this. I don't know how much HHW they're gonna have in an apartment, they might have some.
Batteries.
Batteries, yeah, good point.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I will be contacting their apartment manager.
Yeah, the office is probably on Mesa Verde Drive,
Okay.
across from Stevens, but it's a good idea.
They wanna move in there someday, when I become a senior.
If you can afford it.
Okay, anything else for Davila?
That's really good.
Okay, you passed, you did good. Item 7, Scott?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. So last year, President Schaefer did a very good job with the State of the District last October, and so we believe it would be great to do something similar again this year, but also kind of kill two birds with one stone, because I know the board is really excited about having an open house here. So our thinking was, why don't we have a State of the District here at our facility, and then afterwards we could showcase it to the public. And then, so if you like that idea, what we're seeking from the board is a date, and then we still have really a small window of opportunity to put it in this newsletter. So I need a date from you today, and then we put it in our newsletter and start planning for the event.
Okay.
The only date I'd stay away from would be Thursday, October 12th.
Excuse me?
I'd stay away from Thursday, October 12th,
It's a
because,
holiday,
oh, is it holiday?
isn't it?
No, I mean, there's football games, on Thursday night. I'm just thinking people that,
Right.
that's all, I'm talking about high school people.
Probably want to do like on a Wednesday or something like
Yeah,
that.
just a Wednesday, any Wednesday. But I mean, I'm flexible any Wednesday, but I'm not sure about our own schedule.
I forgot to verify, so can I email you, so I get back to the office and let you know which date's the best?
Yeah, okay. If you want to email Nalani when you're available, that's fine. So, but we need it soon so we can get it in the newsletter.
And what would be our game plan? What would we be doing that night? Have it in this room?
Yeah, it would be just like we had it at the community center. We'd have it right here. We have the screen so we can do a presentation. President Schaefer will be up front. We'll move this table and put it in the storage room, so there'll be plenty of chairs. We got plenty of parking, and if you need to, I'll contact Duncan for spillover parking. You can park over there. So there should be plenty of room. And then we'll open up the facility for people to walk in. We'll have our EOC set up, so we'll see what that looks like. And
That's a great idea.
So, yeah, I think it's a good opportunity.
One of the things we talked about was showing a video. Are you going to contact
Yes,
Gary?
we're meeting with Barry next week. So one of the things we're considering is having like a promo video as part of the State of the District. So you see a lot of that from other organizations. They have a video highlighting some of their accomplishments. We can do something similar. I could also, last year, Barry from what's Costa Mesa Brief, I think it is, Costa Mesa Brief. He videotaped the State of the District last year. I thought I did a really great job. We can have him do it again this year. So there's that opportunity. So I think it's, again, a great opportunity to showcase our new facilities, and we don't have to go anywhere else, and it's right here.
Do you have enough time to get it ready by October?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Sure.
plenty of time.
We might think about 18th of October, which is a Wednesday, just to kind of pencil it in to see how it works.
Yeah,
Because it's a Wednesday.
I think that date probably works the best for me in the middle of the month like that.
Can you get back to us today?
But I will as soon as I get back to you.
Okay, great. So we put it in the newsletter.
How does everyone else feel?
Fine with me on any Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday's
It's a good night.
Yeah, because that's a natural for people.
I don't think there'll be any World Series games to worry about for me.
No.
There's a 6 p.m. start time work.
Yeah.
That's good.
You may need to use that
So we
spectrum
need-
parking.
Yeah, we'll definitely reach out to him and see if we can
So
use
we're
it.
okay financially to do something like this and have some kind of refreshment?
Sure.
whatever?
Yep, yep.
Would you, do we want anybody else to speak? I mean, like the CRNR or any?
No, I think just like
we
last
did
year, President Schaefer will give the speech, and we'll have the video also talk, do the talking for us. So I think it'd be an opportunity. Now, it would be a public meeting. We would notice it. So if there are questions, we have to legally take questions and answer them. So just be warned of that.
But I mean, each board member should have an opportunity to speak to.
Sure, if they want to, absolutely. We can, if you want to, we can. I've seen that as well. I've seen city councils where each council member had like a 5-10 minute speech. You know, if you want to take turns, do that. You can do it, or you can just all delegate to President Schaefer. It's really up to you.
Probably delegate it to mine.
I like what he said that last time.
Yeah, he
Really
wrote- yeah, it was
went over
really
the
good.
people
Well,
and fed back to
we
them.
really had a purpose for that last state of the
Yeah.
district. I mean, a specified purpose to counteract some things.
Right.
that,
But we still
This
do.
needs to be different. We need to showcase our district this
Yeah.
way. And in that video, I think you need to express to Barry, we need to show the art wraps, for example, what we've done with that. But I want some attention paid to staff so that the public knows who works for them.
Okay.
So all of you guys need to be in that video in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more important.
Okay.
So October
18th.
18th at 6 p.m. Okay, so we'll get that on the newsletter. Great, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Oral communications, director comments, anybody? Any items
I had
for
one.
future study?
Oh, yeah,
I had
Arlene,
one.
Arlene had one.
Yeah, can you give me that to me?
That's right here.
I noticed, I got this in the mail, because I get everything in the mail, and out of Costa Mesa, the,
I didn't get one.
Okay, but I don't see us in here. And it's a great
No, we're not in
freebie.
there.
It's a great freebie
We normally
for
are
us
in
to
there,
be in here.
I thought we were.
Well,
I don't know if it would be a
couldn't find
freebie,
us.
but it's worth getting into.
And I'll give it to Scott, but, it's really, it's good advertising for us. I think.
We've been in there before. I know we
Well, we
have.
always have, but
The
we weren't
recreation,
in this time.
We're the recreation guys.
Yeah, it's just, no matter what, everybody looks at it and, so my comment is, we should be in this Costa Mesa Recreation magazine that comes out, okay?
Okay.
Aside from that.
If there's nothing else, then we will adjourn the meeting.
Sounds good.